Hi, my brother and my sister. This is your brother Joseph Bell. We are going to start today with another episode of our daily Bible summary. We are going to be focusing our summary on the chapters of Genesis 11 to 16. The chapter 11 of Genesis focus on the different generations after Sem. Sem, who was one of the sons of Noah. So you see the different generation after Sem. And you got to a personality called Nehor. Nehor gave birth to Terah, and Terah gave birth to Abraham, Haran, and Nehor. So I repeat, Nehor is the grandfather of Abraham. Nehor gave birth to Terah, and Terah gave birth to Abraham, Haran, and Nehor. So Nehor is just the namesake of his grandfather. Haran gave birth to Lot, and Haran died. After a while, Abraham get married with Sarah, and Lot got married as well. And their father decided to move to that city of Ur in Chaldea. So he moved with his family, with his sons. He moved toward Canaan, but he stopped on the road in the in Haran, in the city name in the area named Haran. And at that place, Terah died. Then God appeared to Abraham. He told Abraham to move out of his father's house, out of his country, out of his family, out of his country, out of his father's house, toward the land that he will lead you to go to. And he promised him that you will be blessed, your descendants will be blessed, and those who are going to curse you are going to be cursed. Those who are going to bless you are going to be blessed. So Abraham moved with his gold, with his wife, with his servant, with his cattle. He moved and he took with him Lot. They moved to a, an area. So after a while, they lived there for a certain time. After a while, a great famine started. A great famine started. So they have no other choice than to go to Egypt, because the famine was not that bad in Egypt. So he decided now to move to the land where they were at that time, and they moved to Egypt. But it happened that since the wife of Abraham was so beautiful, Sarah was so beautiful. So Abraham knew that if they were to go to Egypt with that status of a couple, married couple, he will be a dead person, and they will be kidnapping his wife. Then he made a deal with his wife, saying that, please, as we are going to Egypt, you are going to present me. I'm going to appear as your brother and you my sister. So that I'm going to live. I'm not going to die. So they agree about that, upon that agreement, that business, and they went into Egypt. And they went to when they went into Egypt, indeed, the people noticed that, but this wife is so beautiful, is so attractive. They went to report it to Pharaoh, and Pharaoh sent people to grab Sarah, and the Pharaoh took Sarah as his wife, and of course he gave a lot of goods to Abraham as his in-law. He received a lot of goods. But at a certain point of time, they started to experience a lot of plague, a lot of issues, a lot of bad situation. So somehow they knew that, but all our situation, the predicament in which we are now, is because we took this woman as a wife. And Pharaoh went to Abraham saying, and he told him that, but what have you done? Why you gave me this your wife, and I took her as my wife, and you told me that was your sister? And Abraham confessed that, look, I did that because I knew that if I were to present myself as a husband, I will be a dead man by now. But in fact, she's my sister because we have the same father, even though we don't have the same mother. Then the Pharaoh said, you know what, take back your wife. He added a lot of good to a lot of riches, and they were expelled from Egypt. So that is the chapter 12. Now, chapter 13. Chapter 13 shows us Abraham and Lot. Both of them, they grew in wealth, they grew in riches, they had a lot of cattle, a lot of servants, a lot of slaves. So they were rich, but they were living basically in the same place. And finally, there were a lot of tension. Tension started to happen between the shepherd of Lot and the shepherd and servant of Abraham. So this tension took such an extent that Abraham went to his nephew Lot, saying that, look, you are the same person, we are basically brother, we are the same blood. We cannot afford to continue this situation in which we have tension back and forth. And beside it, we are really wealthy. We are a lot. So it's not more sustainable for us to stay just in the same area. Clashes are going to happen. So the best way for us is to separate. Each of us should go his way. So look, the country, the land is so big, so huge. Just choose wherever you want to go. If you go to the left, me, I'm going to go to the right. If you choose the right, I'm going to go to the left. Then look. And he looked the beauty of a country in front of him. That country that was basically showered by the Jordan River. So he said, you know what, I'm going to choose this area. So Abraham said, be it, go ahead. So he went to that area toward the cities, the cities of cities of Sodom, Gomorrah, and Zoar. So he went there, and Abraham say in that area. And what I want to say is that God now, that is an important factor to say. When God appeared to Abraham, asking him to move from his father's house, from his tribe, from his country, from that land, and that is going to bless him, he didn't specify, he didn't ask him to go with Lot, but Abraham took upon himself to move with Lot. And we notice that since the period Abraham was with Lot, God didn't speak to Abraham. But before, God spoke to him, and Abraham did also a lot of sacrifice to God. He built an altar, he gave offering to God. So that's what the point that I wanted to say. So now, Abraham, as I say, is in his area. Lot also is in his area. So it happened that the area of where Lot were living, the area of Sodom, Gomorrah, and Zoar, and all those areas, were ruled by some kings. And those kings have been subjected to the authority of other kings. You know, on those times, when you are subjected to a king, you have to pay some kind of taxes, you have to pay an amount, you have to send an amount of goods or production of cattle or whatever. So those kings in that area where Lot were living, decided now to rebel against the authority that were asserted by the other kings, the king of Amraphel, king of Shinar, Ariosh, Chedorlaomer, Chidal, all those kind of kings. So because they rebelled, now they started to fight, because those kings didn't want to let the kings of Sodom, Gomorrah, and whatever they didn't want to let them go. So finally they met and they fought. And out of that fight, at this war, the kings of or the king that fought the kings of Sodom, Gomorrah won. They won, and when they won that battle, they took with them everything, the people, the wife, the cattle, and everything. So in that dynamic, they took also Lot, the Lot wives, his kids, his good and everything, and they brought them in captivity. So one servant of the crew of Lot flee and went to Abraham in that distress, and he go to reveal to Abraham that, look, we are in big trouble because there's a war that just happened, and those kings, Chedorlaomer, Chidal, and so on and so forth, they won the battle and they brought everybody, and basically your nephew and all his family are in captivity right now. So Abraham decided to gather all his servants, his warrior, and he went after those kings, and he fought them, and he won the battle. And when he won that battle, he retrieved Lot, his wife, his goods, and everything. So they were the winner of that battle, and they came back. And when they came back from that battle, they met the king of Salem, called Melchizedek, who was coming to meet them, and he came with a bread, wine, and they celebrated that victory, and he blessed Abraham. That is very, very important. And we have to say that they wanted to give some kind of present in appreciation of what Abraham did in delivering those kings and everything. But Abraham said, no, I will not take nothing about that. You can just give the food to my warrior and maybe pay them. But me myself, I'm not going to take nothing, because I don't want you to claim that you enrich me with those goods. So after that, Abraham went back. God appeared to Abraham again, saying that, fear not, I will be your shield, and I will give you a great reward. But Abraham said, but look, God, you say that I'm going to have a great descendants. My descendants I'm not going to be numbered, because there are going to be so much. All the nations of the earth are going to be blessed. But look, I don't have no kids. I have no child. In fact, it's one of my servant child that is who is going to be my heir. And God said, no. It's a son coming out of your bowel, out of you, who is going to inherit. And God said, look in heaven. Look the minister that you see in heaven. You can't number them. That is how your seed is going to be. And the Bible said that Abraham believed, and God counted it for righteousness. So now, yes, God and Abraham asked God, but how I'm going to know that indeed those things are going to happen. I want a sign from you. So God said, okay, take this kind of animal, this kind of bird, cut them in the middle, and put them there and wait upon my 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 venue, my coming, my manifestation. And the Bible said that after a certain time, darkness came. Abraham was afraid. Some bird came trying to eat those piece of sacrifice that were waiting the agreement of God, and he chased them away. And God came to him and he told him that he gave Abraham a revelation saying that your descendants, your great descendants that I'm talking about, is going to be slaves, is going to be in captivity for 400 years in a foreign land. But after that time, they are going to be delivered and they will get out of that captivity with a lot of goods. Then in the night, the fire of God came and struck basically those offering, and that was the sign that God is going to deliver, is going to say, is going to execute what he promised Abraham. So and also God promised that, look, I'm going to give you all this land. Look, this land, those area is going to be your possession. Now we go to the chapter 16. Chapter 16 says that Sarah was the wife of Abraham, but she was barren. She had no children. And even though they had that promise of God that they will be having children, they were so impatient that especially Abraham's wife Sarah. So she decided now to give to her husband a maid. She has among her maid a maid named Agai. So she decided to give Agai to her husband so that her husband can have sensual intercourse with her and have a children or a son or a girl. That is going to be basically a kid. So she convinced Abraham, and Abraham accepted to go in intimacy with Agar. And finally, Agar got pregnant. And once she noticed that she's pregnant, she started to despise Sarah. She started to despise Sarah because now she knows that she's pregnant and so on and so forth. So Sarah was so shocked and frustrated by that she started to mistreat Agar, and to a certain point that Agar went out. She flew away from Agar and from Sarah. She went to the wilderness crying and everything. An angel, God appeared to her through an angel, asked her, why are you crying? No, go back to your master, go back to her and humble yourself to her. You have a kid in your womb. That kid will be called Ishmael. Is going to be also a great descendant, but it's going to be like a donkey. It's going to be against his brother, against people, and people are going to be against him. Go back to your master. Then she went back to Sarah, and finally she delivered a son named Ishmael. So basically, this is the where we wanted us to stop for today. Do we have something else? No, that is what I wanted to say. So at that time, Abraham was 86, I think 96 years of age. So that's a summary of what we wanted to have today. Thanks for listening. So don't forget that we already started with chapter 1 till 16. So today or tomorrow we are going to do another 4 or 5 chapter from 17 to maybe 22 or 23. We still with Abraham. Be blessed. Thank you. Bye bye.